I've been webbed! That bloody spider's got me again! Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're doing very, very well. No, do not adjust your sets. We are controlling the vertical. We are controlling the horizontal. For the next 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, I don't know how long, I am in control. So, I've been promising you a bit of a tour of the brand new conservatory, which the eagle-eyed amongst you can see. You can see behind me now, over my bewebbed shoulder. Yeah, I'm going to show you it now. It's taken so long for this to actually happen that it almost seems like a dream. Let's get rid of that. It's me. Here we go, folks. Right, now, before we dizzy you around with all the actual great stuff, a few remnants of the old shite. Look at that. See that? See this? See all this? See? Now, you guys know, the long-standing viewers amongst you know that we have suffered here at Kilt-Mansion for many, many moons with a ramshackle construction that was loosely termed as being a conservatory when we first bought the place. A conservatory. It was just an absolute calamity. It was single pane glass, the door didn't fit, nothing fit. All the panels, the roof panels kept the faintest susurration of a breeze, and they, like dominoes, they would just take flight one after the other, and I'd have to go traipsing across the Wirral Peninsula, knocking on doors. Have you seen a perspex panel? It's about 12, 13 foot long, looks a bit like this. And they're going like, yeah, it's in my back garden. It hit me on the back of the head. You know, take it back. Yeah, and then that would happen time and time again. And no matter who we got to come out, you know, all these illustrious roofing and conservatory people who promised us the earth, and they couldn't even return a phone call. And that went on for years and years. And then finally, Mr. Barry Seymour of Penkett Road, who did say to me, are you going to do a video on this conservatory? And I said, yeah, of course I am. I said, you can be in it if you want, you can be in it. He goes, oh, no, I don't need to do that. I said, no, it's be a good advert for you. He goes, I don't need to advertise. Because he's a fucking genius, that's why. Anyway, so remnants of the old calamity. The rainwater would leak through all the time. So where I'm standing right now would often be almost knee-deep in rainwater. There'd be shark fins circling. You literally were taking your life in your own hands when you tried to leave the kitchen area and come through the conservatory into the garden area. You'd have to swim for it. Japanese submarines slammed 2 torpedoes into our side, chief. No quint here, no quint today. But the rainwater came in, and these once lovely lights that we had fused, and that one, in fact, as you can see, melted. Now, so what I'm going to show you, all that's happened is he's took down the old conservatory, took off all the old panels, and just rebuilt it completely with really state-of-the-art, absolutely fantastic materials. Now, the rest of it is down to us. We've got to let this dry out for at least another 2 months, maybe, because it's had decades of saturation of rainwater. Although it's a good solid base, good, you know, it's proper concrete base, but all the walls have been soaked. They've got to dry out. So we need to then take the skirting boards off. I'll show you the old skirting boards. I mean, look, you can see all the rot anyway. All them skirting boards are going to come off. Yeah. All the way around there, all the way around. And we've got to paint. Oh, look, see the remains of my old saloon. Yes, barely ever survived. New door there, new wall lights, get the whole thing sorted out, get some proper furniture in here, and it's going to be fantastic. Now, let's just show you what we have got. So, obviously, there's no blinds as yet. They're going to be done. We haven't painted anything yet. So, and the wall lights aren't there, as I say, although Mr. Kentucky Fudge has staked a claim on his favourite spot, his favourite prime location. He's there. Although, as many of you know, I've been forbidden to bring any of my knickknacks and accoutrements into this room. This is meant to be a family room. None of Dad's crap. Well, Good luck with that. We'll see how long that policy lasts. Anyway, so these windows, right? They are, as Barry is fond of saying, they're A certified. They're certificate A. That's the best you can get. Personally, I wanted certificate X. I thought they'd be more appropriate. But these, I mean, he knows his stuff and he loves doing the work. He loves it. He should have retired about 30 years ago, but he can't help himself. He just gets out there all the time and just loves to carry on. Bish, bash, bosh. Loves it all. He can turn his hand to anything. Now, so these windows, they're pretty much what the guys on the International Space Station are looking through at the moment. They're the same glass. It's NASA certified glass. Isn't it great? And of course, being proper, like very thick, double glazed, and you know what happens is it'll frost outside, condensation hits the outside, and he said, "Look at this." When he put them in, he said, "Look, see how it's gone all condensation on the outside, and we're writing our names and we're drawing, you know, cocks and big pairs of boobs and stuff." And then put your hand on the inside, like, and the glass was warm on the inside. Magic! It's like a David Blaine trick. Fantastic though. And even though it's actually cold out there now, it's January the, I don't know, 20th, January the 20th. And it's actually, although it's been quite mild, it actually is cold today. And I've got the door open because the dog has just gone out. So the cold air is coming in. But this, ordinarily, over the years past, because of all the holes and the gaps in the ceiling, which wasn't there, you know, it's been cold all the time. And that permeates into the rest of the house. So now it's bliss to walk in here. Even the door's open now. And it's warm. It's genuinely warm. It's getting the heat from the sun. And it's, you know, it's incubating it inside here. So anyway, wonderful windows. Now, in the past, what we had, the windows went all the way up like that. See how it's come down, this angle here. So he's put this cladding up there because he said he just can't get those panes of glass now. It's going to be too awkward to get that. So, and what it's done, in effect, optical illusion, I know, but it seems to have elongated, you know, the entire room. Where once it seemed to go high, now it seems to go long. So, it looks great though. And, you know, it's ultra solid, ultra secure. Now, these panels up here, now what happened with those? We had to wait over a week to get them. He took all the measurements, and the place where he gets them from, they said, "Oh, well, we're going to get deliveries on a Tuesday and a Thursday." But because of COVID gets into everything, does it not? The guys who were going to actually cut them were off with COVID. Now, Barry, Wonder Boy Barry said, like, "Well, don't worry, I can do it for you. I'm qualified. I can cut that down and do it myself." And he went, "Oh, no, you can't come in here and do that. No. It's against all the rules. No. So we had to wait. Now, even though Barry had done all of this, dunk, and the door was there, and he was putting a tarpaulin across the top, which the tarpaulin on its own was infinitely better than any of the roof that we'd had before for at least 2 decades. Could have left that, you know, and cut the price down considerably. But so in the meantime, whilst waiting for the panels to turn up, yeah, he was no shaker. He found other jobs to do around the house. So he's been on the roof, he's been on the bay windows, he's fixed this, fixed that, drilled here, done that, filled the gap here, done that. He's done loads. Rehung gates and things, like bits that we didn't even know were buggered to begin with. He just kept himself busy. And then finally, you know, these things turned up and he arrived in the van. "I've got them, yes." So like, whoa. All the workers in the Kilt-Mansion fields all bowed down to Sir Barry, because I have now knighted Barry for all his worthy efforts and endeavours. And he put them in. Now, the thing about these, see these, they're called spars. Yeah, spars. Now, in the past, these things were wood, and they were, I mean, I know some of you have seen the videos I did in here, the way it used to be. And already you can see, this is like fucking Pandora in Avatar compared to, you know, the quagmire that it was beforehand. But these things, sort of the rotted wooden beams that were up there, which wouldn't support your weight. So I could never get up there to sort of, you know, fasten these panels down because it just gave way. And I think I did do a video, as it happens, as Quint from Jaws, I did do a video in full Quint costume, actually standing up in the gap where one of the panels had come away during a raging storm. It's definitely on the channel somewhere. And so it wouldn't support your weight, so you couldn't fix it. I was using gaffer tape on the inside to try and just anchor them down and putting bricks and bolting, you know, cows and sheep to the roof just to try and keep it down in the storms. Never worked. But these spars, as they're called, they're like they're high tech. You know, these are things like you'd see Wayland Yutani would make them, or you know, Stan Winston making Terminator, you know, and some halcyon techno future. They're precision made, and what happens is the panels actually, you know, when they go and they slide in, they almost like they sinuously chunk, they fix, they lock in, so they're not going anywhere. You know, I'm waiting for the next storm. I really can't wait for the next storm, the next downpour. I'm going to sit out here in the nude. I'm just going to lie there in the nude and just revel in the warmth in here and the fact that I'm not getting soaking wet and my roof isn't blowing off. Yes. Can't wait. Can't wait. So, these, what were the stats on these? He was telling me yesterday. They're like 35mm or something like that. And they're the thickest and the strongest that you can get. And to prove it, he got up there and did river dance on the roof. Like, he was scuttling about like Spider-Man. Boy, my mind, jump, 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 jump. Ah, no, we're used to having squirrels and birds and cats and other, you know, predators racing about over the ramshackle mess that was there previously. But to hear like a fully grown man bouncing around up there, I was like, oh, get on, you can join me, we do a double act. No, I did not. But it is fantastic, and it will be a hell of a lot better. The door is brilliant and smooth, and again, it was a rickety wooden door that it was sealed down the bottom there, and it was hanging off. It was a mess. This has got more bolts, more sort of fantastic high-tech bolts on it than Fort Knox, and it's just wonderful. And the glass is virtually bulletproof. Isn't it great? Again, you can see the damage that's been wrought. Look at all this, when it's literally rotted away. Rot. And, you know, I wouldn't put the light on. The lights don't work. Barry did say to me, you know, you need to just get some new wall lights in, you get this paint, you get new skirting boards done. We're going to ask Barry to do it. I'm not fucking doing it. And no, I'll do as much as I can. And obviously new flooring as well, because the floor, I mean, look at that, it's a friggin' mess, isn't it? It's a mess. And so we'll get this all done. There's a raging debate as to what colour it's going to be. I don't give a fuck what colour it's going to be. My daughter wants grey. Grey? I'm saying I don't give a fuck, I don't want grey. My son wants white, just make it dazzling white. And Mrs. Kilt-Man wants green. But she's picked a green that looks more grey than green. But I've said that I don't care what it is. So whatever it becomes, it won't be this sort of dirty plum, lilac-y sort of mess. But he said to me, you know, don't get an electrician in to do them, they'll be fine. Because see the plugs there, I said, oh, the power supply, there's been rainwater coming down there, it's going to be don't do it. You can get an extension board and there's plugs just around the corner. I said, no, we'll try that, it'll be fine. So he plugged it in and said, I'll watch now. And I was edging away. Like I was across the street when he switched on and the drill and it worked. Didn't hear no screaming. So he said, no, you'll be fine. All you got to do is just take them old ones off, these old pathetic lozenge lights, and just put new ones on. Just change the fuse and you'll be laughing. Just strip the wire back, you should be laughing. I went, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Me? I'll get one of the peasants to do it. But oh, look at the sky. Can you see the sky going that weird sort of colour? Yeah. Because it's now sort of late afternoon, early evening, and we're getting that wintry sort of colour. I wanted to come down the other day and do this video, but the roof wasn't here because the sunrise was the most incredible thing. Because out there, folks, is the cemetery, and you definitely know the cemetery. You've seen that a million times. And there's just part, because our garden goes back, and but it's a mess. And the horrible thing is now you've seen how crap that is. And I'm a qualified landscape gardener, but I did qualify at that when I was 16 years old. I'm now, so that was a long, long time ago. And that is our lawnmower. What chance do I stand? But does a brain surgeon operate on his own brain? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. So that's the next step, because now we can bloody see it. We can see the mess the garden's in. And it used to be lovely. For a very short span of time, that was lovely. But the trees have all gone very Tim Burton-esque, and they've all, which is not a bad thing. Great at Halloween. But it is an absolute quagmire out there. It's a split level garden as well, so you step up onto it. Again, we didn't do that. It's built on builder's rubble. The fucking people that lived here before us, caring the community, fucking hell. Whatever they were doing here. I put the patio down, I did that, and we had a fence all the way across there, and a little gate. You can see where the gate was, and the fence went all the way across like that. And I think I may have said this before, but when we first moved in, we had an absolutely amazing Halloween party. I mean, you can imagine what I was getting up to in my younger days. And the house, we had about 100 people here, and it was just, everybody was in fancy dress, everybody. And we went out and played trick or treat at midnight, literally around all the houses. Can you imagine knocking on the door and someone's going, oh, it's trick or treat, it's too late for that. Kids, you should go home. Maybe you better answer the door. It might be an emergency. Someone might have crashed. So they open the front door and there's like 100 people all carrying axes and severed limbs. Trick or treat. I'm like, fucking hell. It was great. And then we did we went into the graveyard as well. And we didn't wreck anything. No, we didn't. I've got more respect than that. But we did do a massive sort of two-yard raid, and it was great. But then when we came back, because there was all like those little fence posts there, they were like that all the way along. And I had this game, Exploding Heads. I had all these polystyrene heads, which I drilled into and filled with ketchup, Branston pickle, apple core, loads of just horrible, icky stuff. And then I got everyone out and we did exploding heads, like scanners. And I'd stand there, put bangers in them, and then we'd all stand back, boom, and the heads would just erupt. A welter of fake gore. It looked amazing. The last one didn't go off. And I was pissed as a fart. I was like, what's up with that? And it was over here, on the last post over there. Well, there's no post there now, because I blew them all up. And so I got up and I put a load of bangers in it, and I lit them. And I stood there and held it. Blew me about 10 feet across the garden. I just woke up and I was covered in all ketchup and Branston. I thought I'd blown myself to bits. And I was like, oh my God. Anyway, it was exciting. But so the garden is a mess. The garden will have to be sorted. We have got a great Evil Dead style work shed over there in the corner, which is completely overgrown now. You just can't see it. But it's got, I don't know what it's got these things called, what are they called? Tools? I don't know what they are. Let me know, comment below, what are tools? I don't know. Now, this particular corner that my young protege, Mr. Kentucky Fudge, is inhabiting here, this was where that most beautiful and yet horrific of spiders was living for about a good year. And I did film it, I'm sure I filmed it. And it was like, because you couldn't get in, it was all stuff. We had stuff all the way across here. It was just, it was bedlam. And you could only walk down that channel there to get out. And sometimes I'd do videos with that as the background and it would be there. And we had a table here and I'd have all masks around it. I mean, you've seen the videos. But that corner was like off limits. And not only because it had loads of debris and detritus and rubbish just piled up in there. But that's where the spiders lived as well. And this fucking web was absolutely immense. It was an intricate work of art, but the spider who'd made it, who was living within it, it was beautiful. All the colours of the sun and the most amazing pattern on its big, bloated, fat abdomen. And God, it was terrifying to behold. Huge. Really, really terrifying, but at the same time, mesmerising. And I kind of got to know him. I named him. I won't tell you the name because it's personal. But and I'd be sitting here doing videos or doing whatever in the summertime, and I'd just check. Now, he'd come out in the daytime and he'd sit in the middle of his web. Of a night time, he'd go back up, he'd retreat, and those wooden beams, was telling you about, he'd be behind one of them, and these rotten wooden beams. So in the mornings, when I first come out, I have to go and check. Yeah, well, I'd be around here against the wall like that. Yeah, he's there. Just don't move. And then he'd come out and sit in the middle. Okay, fine, he's perusing the world. And I'd be sitting around here somewhere, but then you keep one eye on him, don't come down. And the minute he disappeared, you're like, shit. And I'd be like a spider climbing across the wall just to get out of the bloody conservatory in case I incurred his wrath. But then he died, and he curled into a ball, and he hadn't moved for days and days. Days turned into weeks. And I thought, I was that sad. Of course, having now been the recipient of a very nasty spider bite, which wasn't from him, I can tell you, my sympathies for our eight-legged fiends has diminished somewhat, Anyway, so you can see out here as well, that was the table and stuff that was in here. A lot of that junk was in here. At some point, that's probably going to come back in here, but it's not going to stay. We're going to replace all this. Once this is looking all fine and dandy and all tarted up, then, there'll be no room for that shite. Oh no. And sadly, I think my saloon's going to go as well. Well, that's what they think. But yeah, so there you go. I mean, it's now a nice big room. There's a lot you could do in here. I could bring my weights in here. I could do whatever, And I'll definitely be doing videos in here, so you'll see stuff on it. But give it time. Got to get all this painted up and there's more work to be done as yet, But you can see things are definitely vastly improved. I mean, this should be on the moon or on Mars, because all this stuff is space age. I'm not kidding you. Barry, big bombastic Barry, he put this together single-handed. I know. This is a guy that he does tower blocks as well on his own. Puts all the double glazing into tower blocks, 25 floors. No worries, I'll do that. Hell, He's a wonderful bloke. So Barry Seymour, on Penkett Road in Wallasey. He's booked up till end of March, and probably then some as well. So, you take your time with it, don't worry. But yeah, I'm loving it. You can probably hear the music to Mad Max 2 playing there. That's a subtle hint as to what the next video is going to be. Yes, it's Mad Max 2. Oh, and another subtle hint. Mad Max. And his wee doggy. Yeah. Max and dogs. He loves his dog. Dogs don't last too long, do they? Anyway, it is what it is. So, from me and young Mr. Kentucky Fudge here, we want to bid you a fond farewell from the lovely echoey new conservatory. It's obviously echoey because we've cleared it all out, and it's now like a much bigger space. So, but I'm loving it. I hope you guys do too. I know I picked the wrong time of day. If the sun was blazing down, that probably wouldn't have worked either, but Oh, hang on. You want to see the outside? Yeah, we'll do that. There's an idea. We'll do that. Let's go out here. And Barry was like this as well. Like, you can hear that? Hear that? It's a lovely clunk. And when you open it, and I was going, yeah. That was it's like music to my ears. No, it's true though. It's solid. See, look. There you go. Look at that. Look, windows. See all this? That was the one bit of the conservatory, the old conservatory, which was actually all right. Was this sort of foundation that actually worked? Look at that. It's all been like the flashing and waterproofing. Everything's just anchored in. Looks fantastic. Hello. Intruder alert. Intruder alert. So, that house there, that's one of our tenants on the land. That's Frank. I'll be meeting him soon in the local boozerino. Here we go. Oh, run. Security first. So, yeah, the videos will be done all the way along. Well, you know, the world is now our conservatorial oyster. So folks, I'm going for the bevy, and I'll when I reconvene with you, we'll be talking all things Mad Max 2-ish. So please, in the meantime, on this wildly visible, I feel vulnerable. Everyone can see. I'm an exhibitionist. What do I care? In between time, please keep it Kilty, keep it Celtic. I am going to see you all. It's glass. It's A certified. A. I wanted X certificate glass. Is it too much to ask? Barry, fantastic mate. So, I'm going to see you all later.